Yeah, I did. I had a look at Friday night footy. Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah, obviously it wasn't great for the game to see that sort of stuff happening, but obviously it's at the tribunals tonight, and hopefully that'll get sorted. But it's not something I've given any thought to, and just worrying about what we're doing at the moment.
You could play against Coxie this week, though, for you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. Obviously, it'd be good to play against him one last time, but as long as he doesn't beat me too much. But it'll be interesting to see whether he gets up or not. Obviously, they've got a lot of ruckman with Scotty Lysett and Callum Sinclair also. So I'm not sure whether they'll, whether it's risking him or it depends how bad he was last week. So he got subbed out. So yeah, we'll wait and see later in the week.
100 games for yourself. That's a massive achievement. You must be very proud.
Yeah, I am. It was obviously pretty slow at the start. I only played 17 games in 4 years at Carlton. So things sort of started to get moving once I came across to here. And it is. It's obviously coming off the rookie list, and had a few bumps along the start. So it's good to finally get there.
It seems incredible given what you've been able to do since you've come to Adelaide. But was there a time at Carlton where you questioned whether that 100 games might be something you'd be able to achieve?
I think so. At that stage, I was in and out of the side a lot, and couldn't get any continuity going, and it was something I wasn't even thinking about. It was more just worrying about trying to eat a game and playing well in the VFL. So going through those sort of hardships, if you want to call them that, was I think it really shaped me, and it keeps me in good stead, and I don't take things for granted at all.
Players let that sort of stuff obviously drive them, and you're stuck behind a number of ruckman at Carlton. You're clearly the better of them now. Is that sort of a little sweet moment for you now?
Yeah, it is. I spoke to Pods about his, and the way what's happened in his career. Looking back now, he wouldn't have scripted it any better, and I'm probably the same. I think it was really good for me as a 18-year-old to go to Melbourne and experience life away from family and friends, and made me grow up. And like you said, also having the challenges of having a lot of ruckmen around my age, and we were really competitive as a group, and I think that's helped shape the way I play my footy and a few of my traits now.
At that stage, especially when you got traded to Adelaide, did you think you could become as good as you are? I mean, you're probably in all Australian contention at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. It just, I just feel like I'm just executing what Sando and the boys want me to do. All I worry about doing is just my core business and making sure I'm giving a good competitive effort in the ruck, and and anything that sort of happens after that sort of happens. And obviously it's not something I put heaps of time into, but I feel now I've got a lot more strings in my bow as a player, and stuff that I've been working on, and I'm starting to get some good results. But it's always just about the process. I know that sounds boring, but it's just the way looking back at my career that I've always just gone about my preparation.
It's probably a dream situation the way it opened up for you to come back home to South Australia and beat the league guy.
Yeah, it is. Something I was always excited about was the thought of coming home and being able to play in front of friends and family every week. And but at the same time, like I mentioned before, going to Carlton was obviously great, and experiencing a big club in Melbourne. And I've got some of my best mates at Carlton still, and I still talk to all of them most weeks. So it is. It's been a dream situation, and I'm very fortunate to play footy for the Crows, and I think that also helps my career because I consider myself very lucky to be able to play for the Crows.
So also you're a bit unlucky in the sense as a team that I think round 23 you're playing the Saints on the Sunday, which may mean only a 6-day break if you make the finals. You're a bit stiff.
I don't know, Randy. I personally don't mind 6-day breaks just because the games come around quicker and that, so it's probably each their own. Sundays it's fine by me. I think obviously it'll be an earlier game. I'm assuming so. To me that's not a problem. And at the moment we've got to worry about getting there first of all. So like I said, without sounding too boring, we'll just worry about West Coast this week and worry about that when the time comes.
You're the only finals contender, mate, that's playing on that Sunday. I mean, how significant is a 6-day compared to a 7-day in modern AFL footy where it's so physical?
I don't think it's that big a deal anymore, to be totally honest. I think you just focus more, put more time into recovery, and we'll still have our main session like normal. And like I said, personally, I enjoy a 6-day break because the game comes around quicker, and you get stuck into it.
George, what about this week? I mean, you spoke about having to get there. You guys have seemed to do really well against the sides that around you or above you this year, but then struggled, the weeks after, like sides like Melbourne and that kind of thing. How do you guard against, I suppose, that letdown after such a great win?
I don't know. It's obviously, we're really up and down there at times, and we at times, probably 8 to 10 weeks ago, we were beating teams around us and teams in the top 8, and then we'd drop a game against Carlton and Melbourne, and back and then I was when I did interviews, I spoke a lot about just consistency and working hard on the track, and I think that's where we've improved as a group. Our training standards are really good now, and we're trying to get just making sure our process during the week's good to go, and I think just really executing the fundamentals and just going back to basics and not really looking past the next contest almost, rather than from quarter to quarter. So and even then we were playing decent footy, but against Melbourne it was the start of the game. It was real patchy, and I think we've eliminated that out of our games now.
All years Sauce chased a spot in the 8, finally now just nudged it. Is there a tendency now to kind of lock up and guard your spot for fear of falling out of it, do you think?
No, I don't think so. I think we just worry about just each week and just worrying about winning and keep it going. So, Sando's spoken about since our 0-3 start, where I think we're 9-5 or 9-6 since then. So, we're confident we're in good form. Lynchy spoke yesterday about the beliefs really high in the group, and we're really excited about West Coast, and at the moment we're just really looking forward to the games, and the group's really excited, and the training's at a really high standard. So we're just looking forward to playing each week.
Do you have something to lose now though?
I guess we'll leave that for you guys and the fans to talk about, but we just worry about winning, and keep the ball rolling.
So on the West Coast, I mean, you knocked them off. You obviously got a step further into making the finals. How have you seen them?
Yeah, West Coast have had their challenges this year with a few injuries and the like, and they're obviously a really dangerous team. We played them out here at Amy last year, and they beat us near the end of the game. So they're around us. They're still fighting for a spot in the finals as well, and they're coming off a loss against Richmond, so I'm sure they'll be ready to go and looking to put up a good fight.
Does it feel any different being in the 8 now that you've finally got there?
I don't think so. I think just because going back to, it is a 6-day break this week, so yesterday we had the review, today we're at training, and then everything just turns to West Coast like it does every week. So probably not so much for the players, just because we're just worrying about preparing and getting ready for West Coast.
Just on your own form, mate, what do you put the uplift, I suppose, in your form when you're playing outstanding compared to last year, where you're solid but probably not at the same level?
Yeah, it's an interesting point. I think last year I probably wasn't impacting games the way I was here before. I think numbers-wise it wasn't too dissimilar, but I just didn't have the same impact. And I went away, and I really, as it's been mentioned a few times, I lost a couple of kilos, and really based my game more about running and just getting to more contests around the ground. And I think even last year my ruck work was pretty sound, but now I'm impacting more around the ground, and I think that's probably where the attention's probably coming from.
I think you trained this morning, Sauce. Tomo and Danger, were they out there, and how they tracking?
Yeah, Tomo was. He's moving really well at the moment. Even last week he was moving really well. I think it's just a matter of Sando and the coaches having confidence he can get through 120 minutes of footy. So, he's obviously, he'll be ready to go this week, and I'll be really excited to have him back. Obviously the midfield went well, but it's always good having Tomo by my side, and Danger, same old. I've got no doubt he'll be right to go.
And that's obviously an area where you can really get on top of West Coast with a number of injuries to their key mids at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think Shuey went down with an ankle or something as well, so I guess he'll be monitored this week. And they've still got some pretty good run through there. So Pritis is obviously their main ball getter, and I think he's averaging up around 30 touches a game. So and especially for myself, Nat Nui's starting to get rolling as well. He's starting to get a bit of continuity in his game, and he played pretty well on Friday night. So he's another one that I love playing against. He's obviously a really good challenge, and if hopefully I can get over top of him.
Last couple of just on Nick Nat, he started very well on Friday night, and it seems when he is able to do that, he can have a big influence on the game. Is it really crucial for you to get on top of him early? Yeah,
it is definitely, and especially if Cox comes across as well, or if it's Lysette there, regardless of who comes across, they're going to be two lethal, partnerships. So it's going to be important that I not only match him and also try and get my hand to it as well, because you obviously seen what he can do out of a centre bounce and get the ball moving forward. So, his strength is really around the ball and the contested stuff. So I'm going to have to match him with that.
How do you get your hand to it? Because it's got that ridiculous vertical.
Yeah, it is. It seems, even watching the other night, like Marriage just seemed to obviously get across the line pretty well, but he just seems to jump over him. So, I guess the thing is, you just sound simple, but just don't give him what he wants, and you just got to try and take his space and try and compete as best as you can. I'm a realist. I know he's going to get his hand to the ball at times, but it's just about limiting the influence of what he can do with it. Tune into Channel Crow for exclusive video, highlights, press conferences in full, player interviews. Channel Crow on afc.com.au and YouTube.